Hello, good morning class. Hope you are well in your house. Remember that you will find the whole units explained in the platform Cynthia, but here I would like to give you some insights about that, some general aspects related to grammar and vocabulary. So first of all, you need to know that Unit 3 is about life events and Unit 4 is about. So take that into consideration. So let's start first with the Unit 3, yeah, that is about life events. So what are life events? Life events are important aspects about life in the past. So really for making life events or to talk about life events, you need to take into consideration two important aspects. You need to take into account the regular and irregular verbs, yeah, and of course, yes, the vocabulary related to that. So here we can see a very common life events of a person, yeah. The first thing is that a person is born, then that person grow up, then go to a school, move to another city probably, study, graduate, get married, get divorced, have children, live happily ever after, and finally that person could die. So allow me to open in why. Yeah. So guys, these are really important aspects about that. So take into account that here we have verb in present. Later on we are going to show you, I'm going to show you this verb in the past forms. Yeah. So let's continue, guys. Here we have a very common timeline of a person. Remember that you need to use here regular and irregular verbs. So what is really important here? The first thing that you need to take into consideration is the use of this verb. Yeah. In this part you have the verb in present, but here in this part you have the verb in past. The line in red are irregular verbs and the line in blue are regular verbs. Remember that the main difference between a regular and an irregular verb is the past form. For example, the verb move is regular because the past form is with id. So move, moved, study, studied, graduate, graduated. On the other hand, the other verbs like grow up is irregular because it has another way. So grow up, grew up. Yeah. Well, for example, get married, got married. So take that into consideration. Now, I would like to show you this, and this is just an example of a timeline. Remember that you need to work on your guides as one of the assignments of this unit. You need to write your own timeline. So you need to start with this. I was born in Monteria in 1986. I grew up in Bogota, for example. I went to a school in 1991. I moved to the United States in 2006. I studied at college or the university in 2007. I graduated from college in 2012, for example. I found a job in 2013. Let me see, what else? Sorry guys, I'm going to move my cam here. You can see it, okay. Sorry. Okay, so no, don't worry. Here you can see I got married in 2016. I had a child in 2018. I got divorced last year. So this is just an example of very common timeline that you need to do as one of your assignments. Okay, so please, before doing your own assignment, look at this example and you can work with it. Okay, Now let's continue, guys. Here I show you a basic active, regular, and irregular verb lists. I want you to take this into considerations because these are the most active or useful regular and irregular verbs used in English. So, for example, of course, yes, you need to use a dictionary, yeah, if you don't understand the meaning of these verbs. For example, if you see need, but you don't know the meaning, you can go to a dictionary and look for. Here you have the present form, for example, need, and here you have the past form. So, need, as the example shows, as the table shows, is a regular verb because it ends with id. Okay, so take this chart into consideration at the moment of write your own timeline. Now, guys, it's time to go to our next unit. Yeah, it's about planning and predicting. Remember that unit 4 is about making plans. So planning or predicting. In English, it's very common to have this mistake because people use will as future, but will is not used as it's used as future, but just when you are talking about probabilities. So when you are not 100% sure about anything. On the other hand, you use be going to when you want to talk about a plan that you already arranged. So let's see these two examples. In the first one, he says, I will travel to Italy next year. This is a probability. Why? Because you are not 100% sure. But on the other hand, if you say, I'm going to travel to Italy next vacation, you are saying that you already arranged your vacation and you have from 90 to 100% sure that you are going to do that action. Let's see this another example. I will have children Sunday. Sunday, in Spanish, algún día. So you have a desire of doing this, but you don't know when it will happen. So you are not 100% sure about that. But if you use going to, for example, I'm going to have a child next year, you are saying that you have a plan and that you already have taken a decision about that. So these are very common differences between will and be going to. So take that into consideration at the time of writing your plans. Okay. So always a plan is used or is presented with be going to. Okay. Now here you have a very concise chart about how to construct be going to for future, but remember that we are, for example, this says next year I'm going to have a baby. Is a plan. Yeah, you have already planned that for the next year you are going to have a baby. The second one, he's going to move to Italy. He already made a decision and next year he's going to move to Italy. Yeah, and here you have the ways how you can make questions and you can answer this. For example, it says, are you going to study architecture? If you have the plan, you can say, yes, I am. But if you have not already planned that, you can say, no, I'm not. Yeah? Who is going to graduate tomorrow? Remember, who? ¿Quién? So you need to take into account that here you need to provide an information. You don't have to answer with yes or not. You need to give an information. What is the information? Who? ¿Quién? Si nos pregunta por quién, we need to talk about people. So, who is going to graduate tomorrow? Janet. Oh, when are you going to have children? ¿Cuándo? ¿Cuándo vas a tener hijos? When are you going to have children? This person says, I don't know. Yeah? So, you need to take this basic structure into consideration at the time of making your plans. Here, I would like to show you very briefly a chart about the rules of formation of be going to. Yeah? Remember, guys, remember, you need to conjugate the verb to be, just the verb to be. For example, here we have these affirmative, negative, and interrogative sentences. The first one says, I'm going to work. This is a plan. But if you want to make this plan negative, you need to add not. So, I'm not going to work. And if you want to make this sentence interrogative, the only action that you need to do is to put the verb to be at the beginning of the sentence. I'm going to work. Yeah. The same happens when you use some others personal pronouns. For example, he, she, and it. Let's use this example. She's going to work. If you want to make this sentence negative, you need to add isn't. She isn't going to work. And if you want to make this like a question, you need the only thing that you need to do is to put the verb to be at the beginning of the sentence. Is he going to work? Yeah. So remember, always put the question mark. The question mark. Okay? So finally, here we have another one. For example, with we. Here we have, we are going to work. If you want to make this sentence negative, you need to put aren't. We aren't going to work. And if you want to make it like questions, you need to put the verb to be are at the beginning. Remember, it happens the same with am, is. So you need to put are here. Are we going to work? And at the end of the sentence, the question mark. Okay? So take that into consideration. Once you were working with your guide, cuando entren a Cintia y vean la guía, yeah, please, go back to this chart, revuélvanse a este cuadrito, and take it as an example, y tómenlo como ejemplo, okay? Right? Okay, guys, so finally, here we have a let's check activity. What you need to do is try to make a Word document, un archivo de Word, and answer these questions or these statements. For example, here you need to complete, it says, write question or statement with be going to. So, if you have here a question mark, it means that you are going to write an interrogative sentence. Here you are going to write a positive, here an interrogative, here a negative, and here a negative. What you need to do only is to graph them or regraph them with be going to. Remember to use the verb to be conjugation. So, please, go to the platform, Cynthia, make a Word document, and upload this document with these answers, okay? And that's it, guys. Remember, if you have any doubt or any question, don't hesitate to call me or write me on my WhatsApp account, and I will explain you later on this. Okay, guys? So, as a recommendation, please, my recommendation is go to your student and take a look about that and try to see the examples there. Okay? And as a conclusion, please, guys, remember, you need to use, if you want to make your timeline, you need to use regular and irregular verb and use the table, utilicen la tabla, that you have in this presentation. And if you want to talk about your plans in the future, you need to use be going to, okay? Remember these two important aspects. So guys, that's all for today. I really hope you could make this video as a tool for doing your activities. So see you next class. Bye. Take care of yourself, guys. Bye bye.